should teachers only teach the lexical approach to conditionals? Well, let's be practical. If you were to go for just the lexical approach, then you would have to fight every single time you would open your book and the textbook and the course book, and the students will be, well, it's not what it says in the book. So you would have to fight against what's written in the course book. The full conditional approach, even though technically it doesn't reflect all the different conditionals that can be used, and it does kind of hinder the students' ability to express subtle changes in meaning, it does have its advantages in the sense that not only is it in the course book, but it does cover most of the meanings of the conditionals. It is a simplification, but it is a useful one. The important uses of the conditionals are covered through the full conditional approach. Therefore, the lexical approach, even though it is technically the more inclusive one, how practical is it? A possibility would be that instead of just doing it one way or the other, the full conditional approach or the lexical approach, one way would be to actually do a mix, which means that at lower levels, when you start introducing conditionals, then you can use the full conditional approach with its quite rigid set of rules, which at a lower level would enable the learners to produce longer sentences, but also will give them the confidence because they will know exactly the structure instead of just guessing from their very general knowledge of models and tense forms. So that's one way. You start with the lower levels, but you might want to tell them that later on, the rules might change. These are the basic rules. And as you learn more, you will see there are different ways, but these are the basics. So that could be one way. It is also a way to raise the awareness of students when it comes to language, telling them this is what you are learning at that time. As you will progress, you will learn different rules to add on to the basics. Then at a high level, once they have mastered the knowledge of models and tense forms, and they are more likely to be able to use that knowledge to create conditionals on their own, then this is when you could start thinking about introducing the lexical approach, showing them the different ways, the more showing them the subtle changes in meaning that can be brought on by using different structures of conditionals than the four that they've already seen. And because they will have already seen the basics, then maybe that would allow them to build on what they already know in order to develop and use the lexical approach then.